All right. Good afternoon. My name is Timmy again. I'm welcoming you to the sermon today. And today I'll be looking at the topic the hilltop and the valley of life. In life, there's always two competing forces, the forces of good and the forces of evil. And then there's always come up opposing sides to life. There's black, there's white, there's out, there's in, there's up, there's down, there's left, there's right, there's always an alternate side to everything in life. Now, if it's true, then I would like to look at life from the point of view of the mountaintop and the valley of life. Now, let me start with the valley of life. Now, in the valley of life, there, if you find yourself there, you're all alone. You know, if it's miserable, you're miserable alone. A lot of people don't even get to know what you're going through, and a couple of people don't really care. Now, when you're down there, you're all by yourself. Now, that's when you get to have fewer friends, fewer people checking on you, fewer people depending on you, looking out for you for anything, or even involving you in anything. You know, and life becomes a little bit terrible, and you don't get to be happy. All right. Now, in the valley, you don't get to hear so much noise because nobody is involving you in anything. So you're quiet, and that quietness is your advantage. The only time you get to hear much noise is probably one or two few people who come checking that are genuine family and friends. Then a couple of few people who might come jeering at you and snaring at you, probably because they feel you are down there, you're miserable, and yeah, your life is miserable. Now the voice that constantly keeps coming, that you constantly will always hear, is the voice of God, always reaching out to you, assuring you that it's going to be better. Now, the best you can ever do for yourself is to continue to get familiar with that voice. All right, get used to that voice, get familiar with hearing that voice, so that anywhere you hear that voice, you will know this voice, you recognize the voice, and that is the voice of God. All right, because like I said, in the valley is a place of building, is a place for you to fortify yourself. Because you would have seen it all. It's gotten worse. Once you're down there, you can't get any further down. You can only rise up. So now let's put you up at the top. Now, when you get to the top of the mountain, that's where all this Eldorado life is nice. Things are working out fine. You have everything working out. Probably have a job, you have a family, you have things working out, you're good. At the top, even when you go to like a natural mountain, like real mountain top, the experience there is you can feel the wind blowing, the noise, the birds and everything, the wind blowing, you can hear noise. And at the top, when you speak, people hear, and when people speak even from the valley, you hear. So that's the beautiful thing about the top, and everybody gets to see you now, and everybody gets to admire you. Unlike when you're in the down, when you're in the valley down there, no matter what you look like, nobody gets to see you because you're down there. But when you're up there, everybody sees you. Now there at the top, everybody celebrates you. Everybody wants to come close. Everybody wants to identify with you, and people want to involve you in so many things: weddings, parties, events and stuff like that. They depend on you, even when you truly don't even have value to give. People just depend on you because you're just there. Now it's your time to shine, and because you're on the stage and you're shining, you have so many cacophony of voices, noise, people praising. Nobody snares and jeers at you at that point. People just keep clapping, cheering. You have cheerleaders, people praising you for things that you don't even deserve to be praised for. Even for things you actually didn't even do. People actually give you credit for things you didn't even do. How funny. But that is the truth about life. And at that point, okay, if you don't have the valley experience of knowing or discerning or differentiating the voice of God from the noise, then you are likely going to get into trouble, because you might hear voices that will lead you to your destruction, and at that point you will be led astray. And it's wonderful to be at the top, but it is more dangerous to be at the top, because when you come crashing, it's going to be catastrophic, and that is usually when you are led by the wrong voices, you don't understand, you don't have the discernment to differentiate between the voice of God and the voice of man. So your ability to be able to discern the voice of God when you're at the top takes a lot. But then the one who comes from the bottom, from the valley to the top, that recognizes the voice of God, once they are at the top, when they are emerge at the top of the mountain, they'll make it better and they'll stand solid on the ground. Now, what is the point I'm trying to make? Well, the point I'm trying to make is that at every point in life, whether at the valley or at the top, you have a choice to make. When you're at the valley, you have the choice to get up. When you are at the top, you have the choice not to come down by by not listening to the voice of men, but listen to the voice of God. So discern God's voice from the valley, so that when you get to the top, you'll be able to be directed, or you'll be able to be led aright. So, in conclusion, when you find yourself in the valley, use that opportunity to build yourself, to build a solid relationship with God, and know and understand and recognize God's voice, so that when you eventually emerge there, you will not be deceived by cacophony of noises that people will be making, trying to lure you because of what you have become. And I pray that you're gonna get up there, or while you're there, you'll be able to discern the voice of God, and you'll be led aright to make wise decisions at the end of the day, for the good of your life and for the good of the world and for the good of humanity. I love you so much. Take care. See you again next Sunday.